Hello there, Site-42 staff, as well as those of you from the greater SCP Foundation community. And welcome to another Coffee Break with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site-42. As always, I am Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director here at Site-42 of the SCP Foundation. And as I have done for the last year and counting, because the daily stream streak remains strong, I'm here to open my office doors to you, the SCP Foundation staff, to answer your burning questions about this dark and mysterious place of employment we call the SCP Foundation. So whether you have questions about the anomalies we contain, the staff who contain them, the groups of interest who try to stop us from containing them, or hypothetical containment procedures about anomalies that fall outside of the SCP Foundation's purview, perhaps they're from a different multiverse or pataphysical narrative level, i.e. fandom. Either way, we are here for the next 90 minutes for today's stream. But before we begin the stream subject and general Q&A, allow me to start with a little bit of housekeeping. First and foremost, 100 stars. Congratulations on being the #1 most punctual member of today's Containment Hazard Assessment team, i.e., congratulations on being first chatter. Furthermore, CD23, Amber, Sleepless Dragon, Puppet Boy, Silent Follower, Dr. Wesker, Legendary Doge, Tyrone, Dr. Amask, Froy, Captain Gilbert. Everyone I have just named, thank you for being here punctually, and thank you for being here today as members of Site-42 on YouTube. We appreciate your membership and your service. Furthermore, interns Kevin, Minty Andrea, Steven, 953, Salted Flower, Neon Bread Boy, X Gamer, and the appropriately named Frog Fan. Welcome to today's stream. Thank you for being here punctually, and thank you for being here today just for being you. Now, a reminder, today's stream is sponsored by our friends at Plush Foundry and the scpstore.org. The Dr. Sherman plushie has 13 days left to order. If you do not buy it now, it will be gone forever. So your only opportunity to get the second edition Dr. Sherman Site Director plush is right now. The little guy is waiting. Don't disappoint it. You can go to the link that is pinned in the chat or in the description if you are watching the VOD to get this delightful little guy. Go fly fast. Now, before we get into today's stream subject, I will just say 100 stars. Thank you for sending 100 stars to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure the sacrifice of yourself for the team will only improve their will to succeed. giving your 100-star self to the chat in an act of righteous sacrifice. After all, it's known, we die in the dark so they can live in the light. I only hope that you reincarnate quickly, so we don't miss you too long in chat. It also would have been very funny to do 99 just to disappoint them. But ignore me, that is just a, that is just me setting up trolling for later. So, today's stream subject. Over the past couple of days, we've talked about SCPs that were canines, SCPs that were felines. And it was mentioned yesterday that the next stream should be FROGS. Oh, Puppy of Interest 42, codename Charlie. Good to see you. Puppy of Interest 42, codename Charlie, is here at the start of stream to say hello. And so, it's good to see you, Sweetie Pumpkin. I hope you had a nice day at the Cadet Academy. I hope you did good training. And the Containment Hazard Assessment Team wishes for you to have this treat.
She did escape training today. She is adept at escape yard.
Ah, escape training, a very important skill for when you are in a imprisonment or interrogation setting. All agents should be trained in such a way. Very good. Commendable. Okay, so, where was I? Ah, yes. So, we will move on to Frog Day today, as it was joked about in yesterday's stream, and then I said, why not? Why not Frog Day? Let's have fun with SCP frogs. Now, here's the deal. We had to do a little more research going into this stream, because unlike canines and felines, there is no tag for frogs specifically. But the amphibian tag only has the best number 42 anomalies, which means it was not difficult to go frog hopping. And so, if you want to investigate the frog tag later up, well, the not frog tag, the amphibian tag, then feel free, but I will give you a small sampling of our frog-related SCPs in containment as of current. Starting with Dr. Frogman, not a canon researcher here at the SCP Foundation, but a strong showing character within the Site-42 Containment Hazard Assessment Team, and therefore enough of a person of interest around the Foundation Site-42 that we give them a shout-out. Oh, look who arrives, just at the perfect time for the stream. Already, you just came in right for the good part. Excellent. Now, today we will be starting with Dr. Frogman's oft advertised anomaly to advertise in the stream, and that would be SCP-8012, codename A Hero's Journey featuring Wigglebert the Great, otherwise known as Frog Wizard, until later on when he becomes a frog bard. What you're seeing right now is my mouse is having a malfunction. This is not bode well for Homestar Runner. Give me a one moment to see if I can fix my ding-dang ability to scroll. Otherwise, my terminal may turn out to be useless. Let's try turning it off and on again. Nope, my mouse has decided it does not. Oh, wait. So, Pardon the interruption. If the mouse does not work, it makes it very hard for me to show you all the SCPs on the database. So this is a technical break. While I am stuck here on a technical break... Dapper, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Unfortunately, you said something or other about the banned character that is banned from being talked about at Site 42. That being... Content warning. Reminder, here at Site 42, we do not talk about Dr. Bright. Dr. Bright, as a character, was banned from the SCP community for being a big creep, allegedly. And so, not only was the author banned from the community, but the character used as a self-insert was banned for being complicit in the same crimes. Watch the video that Desk is sharing in the chat if you want more information on why it's the rule. Suffice it to say, let's not talk about that groomer anymore, thank you. Alleged groomer. But thank you for donating regardless. Grab yourself some Haagen-Dazs on your way past the commissary. Now, as I was saying before this mouse went nuts on me, and it seems to be working again, 8012 is the story of one, I believe, intern Pablo. At least junior researcher. Pablo started working at the Foundation, and inside the break room found a frog, an anomalous frog, who kept saying, hey, you want to go in the portal? You're the chosen one, Pablo. Please go in the portal. I will cast the spell of get in the stupid portal. So unfortunately, Wigglebert is only so convincing, but eventually, Pablo went into the portal and went on a grand adventure, as seen in SCP-8012, The Hero's Journey, featuring Wigglebert the Great. If you make fun of Wigglebert's drawings, you will make the anomaly sad, and we will all be upset with you. So please do not make fun of Wigglebert's drawings. There will be penalties if you do so. But Pablo was brought on an excellent adventure to find many dragon-slaying tools, such as by retrieving cheaper gasoline from across state borders, the chest plate of cheapskates was brought in. After stealing 10 random people's mail, okay, so we have to commit federal crimes as a quest now. The leggings of the greater Chicago metropolitan area were earned. By defeating a fly in Mortal Kombat and retrieving its corpse, Pablo won the boots that are really cool. The orb just says complete. The quest was the orb. Was the reward the orb? I'm confused about the orb. But after gathering 500 leaves from each from a different tree, the giant blade of George Bigman was collected. And by collecting every Funko Pop, which really must have taken a very long time, the staff of unbelievable magic power, was incomplete. Well, that could have been helpful, but yeah, I wouldn't have done that quest either. Furthermore, they collected the ancient blades, and there is, in fact, when Wigglebert the Great is not wizarding, Wigglebert the Great moonlights as a bard. And Wigglebert the Great composed a song to sing the praises of the chosen one, Pablo. The song is as thusly. To the greatest of heroes in all of the land, because all of his friends have been taken from Ham. It's him, but he pronounced it ham to make it rhyme. By a mean, ugly dragon who is very mean. How to slay that mean dragon I will have to explain. Oh, 3 ancient relics scattered across the land, hidden in tricky trials that some weirdo has planned. He will become the greatest who has ever been great. And that mean, ugly dragon will be all rightly slayed. Eventually, Chosen One Pablo and Wigglebert the Great found Director Clemens's pet lizard, who was the dragon, and fed it a delightful strawberry to calm it, and returned all of the disappeared staff members from the site. Wigglebert did disappear the entire staff of the site, or the dragon did. It's not really clear which part of the anomaly is happening here. We only have the logs from Wigglebert and the security footage. It's all rather confusing. But please, go look at the SCP 8012 database entry for Wigglebert the Great if you want more information. I caramba is all I have to say to that. Popping in to check the donations before our next frog. Intern Frost, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself some chicken fingers on your way past the commissary. Hello, how was your day so far? Subject 230 says, D230 says hi. Well, the day is so far so good. Nothing terrible has happened yet. A new record for 17 minutes into the stream. I'm enjoying it. And hello to D230. I don't know why I would be greeting D class, but the stream's the stream, I guess. Building Block, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself some lightly fried fish fillets on your way past the commissary. I learned in the Steel Ball Run manga there's a tree with a stand called Sugar Mountain, which means even plants can have stands. If SCP-4521 had a stand, would it be called the Sound of Silence? You know it would. And you know that the Sound of Silence is scientifically proven to drive you insane. If you go in one of those acoustically treated rooms that's so acoustic that it's pure silence, that eventually you'd hear your own heartbeat in your blood in your veins, and then you would go crazy. So yes, I do believe that an ear-deafening silence, it would be SCP-4521's stand ability. Amber, thank you for sending a floating heart to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure they feel the love. And then Dr. A. Mask, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Head over to the commissary, grab yourself a burrito bowl on your way past the commissary. Hello, Doc. Got back from my assignment on the 29th. Looking forward to getting my hands on that plushie I persuaded my author to purchase. Either way, I'm enjoying my PTO before my next field assignment. I hope you're enjoying your day too. Good vibes from Site 85. Well, I am glad to hear that plushie purchase worked out for you. The Site Director Edition Dr. Sherman plushie is available still for 13 days. I am glad you got a hold of yours. And yes, as I said, we're now 19 minutes into stream and nothing terrible has happened. I'm feeling a good day right now. All right. Moving on to our next frog of the day, SCP-306, simply codenamed the Frogs. Now, technically, SCP-306 is not frogs. Technically, SCP-306 is a fungus, but it is a fungus that, while it can be carried by most species of animal, it only affects human beings. And it affects human beings by turning them into frogs. And so, After being transformed into an instance of SCP-306-1, man become frog. There's a whole biological process going through it. The transformation happens. Now, there was a containment breach because the frogs do have human intelligence. And so they did attempt to, quote, make a run for it. And all instances of 306-1 were immediately terminated post-containment breach attempt. And we got one staff member shot during the altercation. So, be very, very, very careful regarding your biohazardous material processes while interacting with instances or the substrate of SCP-306 for your own sake. All right, checking the chat and the donations before moving on to the next frog. Intern Frost, thank you for donating again to say, D230 is under my protection now. Dude snuck me in a coffee machine. Also, SCP-096 isn't all that bad if you can't see him, because I'm legally blind. Oh, no, you be very careful about that. Legally blind people can still see, just not fully. Legal blindness is not the same as absolute blindness. You gotta be careful with your definitions here, because if you can see any blurriness at all, if light is impacting your eyes and creating an image in your brain, if you have any speck of sight, 096 still gets your ass. It is only absolute blindness that protects you from 096. Be careful with your definitions here. Intern Cross, thank you for sending a flower to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they are charmed by its prettiness. Next up on our Frog Tour. Frog Tour continues with SCP-5457. Codename, The Republic of Underfrogia. Underfrogia? Underfrogia. Frogia sounds fancier. SCP-5457 is a species of 1.5 meter tall frog people. They are legit battletoads. They have a government, they have an army, and oh my gosh, do not talk to them if your name or your accent is French. Because they know about the stereotype about French dietary enjoyments of frog legs. And they are going to fuck up some Frenchmen. We managed to capture and interrogate one of the frog soldiers, and we ended up, for a while, having a very good back and forth trying to contain these frogs because they did not want to take over the world or anything. They just wanted to not be eaten, which, you know, mood. But unfortunately, it seems like there was a bit of a mix-up, and the agent we had in captivity ended up... Well, let me just show you... Let me just dramatically read off the end of this transcript here. So, the agent and the frog agent. The agent is named Duverier. The frog is named Martin. Please, Martin, you don't have to make me do it. Can you really not back down? Never. Agent Duverier turns around to look around her. Other instances, estimated to be more than half the group which broke out, have gathered in a close circle around the two of them. Most of them can be seen trembling, mumbling amongst themselves, or clutching weapons. Are you really doing this for your people? Look at them! You brought them so far and they're still afraid. Of course. Change is scary. But in time, all of us will conquer our fears, and we will become examples for the rest of the people of Under Frogia. We will show them there is no reason to fear the Frenchmen, just like I am showing them that I do not fear you. My people will live free from terror. Agent Duvalier takes a deep breath and steadies her aim. I'm sorry, Martin, but they won't. The remainder of this footage is redacted by the Ethics Committee. Any well-trained agent would know to take the shot in such a scenario. Afterwards, Agent Duvalier sent a message to the Director Verne. Director Verne, I understand that I need my full memories for the Ethics Committee hearing tomorrow. After all, I have to be able to provide a full account of what happened. But whatever the verdict may be, I am formally requesting to go under amnestic treatment after the conclusion of the hearing. I won't need those memories anymore. And I really want to forget the taste. Agent Duvalier, how dare you! No! At the end of the day, Agent Duvalier was still French. Pourquoi Duvalier? But yes, you should read the rest of SCP-5457. It is a pretty fun read. I have to remember to give this an update. SCP-5457, The Republic of Under Frogia. Under Frogia. Coming back to check the donations before we again move on to our next frog. Oh, no, I'm not. I forgot something. Just something that grinds my gears as a site director and a member of the SCP community. I rag on the content farms a lot because a lot of their work is cranked out way too fast and low effort, and they don't really pay attention enough to the story. There are some of the animated channels are better than others about this, but it just kind of grinds my gears, and I wish they would put more effort into their work. Well, one of the things that really gets me is the thumbnails they put up. And there are two different SCP-306, the frog fungus thumbnails. Why does it have to be capturing women like that? That's not even... 306 just turns you into an itty-bitty little frog. It doesn't have large frog people capturing researchers. And why, again, is it with the boobs? What? You clickbaiters. And listen. I have been known to make videos with the plague dancing SCP-049 plague doctor after using the gender switching stone because it comes up. First of all, let's not lie, those videos get views for a reason. I understand why they're doing the clickbaits. I feel as if when I make my videos, I'm at least doing something that's additive and not just this blatant. I don't know. Maybe I am this blatant. Maybe I'm a hypocrite. I don't know, man. Puppy of Interest 42, what do you think? You think nothing. You have no thoughts. All your thoughts are, hello, I am Sweetie Pumpkin, and I want treats. And the chat said I could have them. And you are correct. The chat did say you could have treat. Congratulations. The chat said so. Run, baby girl. So yes, while I was looking up images for the thumbnail of 3 of the stream, I found the frogs capturing sexy ladies trope thumbnail, and I was very confused because that has nothing to do with the stories at all. That's what it is. It has nothing to do with the stories. The fungus turns you into Frog. It's not giant frogs attacking scantily boobed women. Okay, rant complete. Now looking at the donos before our next frog. Adorable Mutant Bat, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a, well, after 5457, maybe you could have some frog legs on your way past the commissary. If a kid can generate control antimatter and anomal, yes. Yes. Rion, thank you for your 12 months as a Mobile Task Force captain. We appreciate your year of service to us here at Site 42. Have we beat the Spider Moon yet? Oh, yeah, we nuked the Spider Moon a long time ago. There was a whole song about it. And then we replaced the moon, and things are peachy keen. Yeah. Intern Frost, thank you for donating again to say. 096 is still chill, but I don't look at him. SCP-096 is an it, not a him. It is an anomaly. It's in containment. Please practice proper pronoun parlance protocols at the Foundation. All anomalies are objects, not people. Do not humanize them. That makes people feel sympathy for them. Maybe you want to free them from containment because you don't think they deserve to be imprisoned, and that would be bad for society. And so, thank you. Only the floor. Also, a heads up, even though I'm immune, 049 is walking around the halls again. Put it back. It should not be loose right now. Skywarp, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a fruited roll-up on your way past the commissary. Hello, Dr. Sherman. It has been a while. That it has, Skywarp. Hope you've been doing well. We have been doing well here at Site 42. Especially with our next frog. The next frog on the docket and our last frog of the day is SCP-5133, codename the Fruit Frogs. At least I'm pretty sure its codename is the Fruit Frogs. I'm going to check real quick. 5133. Are you Fruit Frogs? Yes, I was correct. Fruit Frogs. And the Fruit Frogs are frogs whose meat is fruits. It's right what it says on the tin. They are frogs that are fruit. There is one pond, SCP-5133, and SCP-5133 spawns SCP-5133-1, which are the fruit frogs. And so you can go to this delightful pond, and you can find fruit frogs. SCP-5133-1 appear to be southern brown tree frogs. However, the flesh of an SCP-5133-1 instance beneath the skin consists exclusively of varying types of fruit. Types of fruit within SCP-5133-1 entities exhibit no pattern, save for the commonality of the fruits originating from tropical climates. Chemical analysis has determined that these fruits contain upwards of 3 times the amount of vitamins typically found in their non-anomalous variants. Upon consumption of SCP-5133-1 fruit, subjects report that the 5133-1 tastes much better than regular fruit of the same type, and that the fruit from the -1 instances deceased due to old age are the tastiest. So you gotta let the frogs age to ripen. They voluntarily remain within 3 meters of the pond, but will not resist if taken away. Frogs are extremely docile and show no signs of behavioral changes when harmed. Instances act as regular southern brown tree frogs in their natural environment, even when removed from the pond. So, they are just little fruit frogmen. Now, we do know why these anomalies are as they are. The pond itself is tended to by an elderly Vietnamese man known solely by his surname Nguyen, and has thusly been designated SCP-5133-2. It turns out that the pond existed as a joint project between him and his favorite granddaughter, who just happened to be one of the folk who live in the forest that shall remain nameless. A fairy granddaughter, if you will. And so after reincarnating several times, the granddaughter utilized the Fey abilities to make the lake spawn fruit frogs. Sure, use your anomalous ability for fruit frogs. I guess I don't see why not. So yes, SCP-5133, the fruit frogs, is on the document database if you are interested in investigating. Also, we do have a deal going with the farmer. We do trade needed groceries for Nuyen to harvest the frogs. So we have a steady supply of fruit frogs if you would like to try some in the break room. And with that, we have completed today's menagerie of frog SCPs. Of course, this is not all of the frog SCPs. Remember, you can go to the database amphibian tag, and you can find the 42 SCPs that are amphibians, and you can investigate which ones are frogs or which ones are other amphibian entities. Regardless, I hope you enjoyed the frog rundown of the day, and now we will move on to the general Q&A. I am returning to the chat, and I am refreshing. Intern Frost, thank you for donating again to say, I nominate Puppy of Interest Employee of the Month. Well, as the designated sweetiest pumpkin on site, I would not be surprised if Puppy of Interest 42, codenamed Charlie, were to win such an award. Do, 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 do. Dr. Sherman, I think I found the cause of the unfortunate events that have been happening at Site 42 lately, SCP-9141. I'm unfamiliar with 9141, but anything that's happening that's causing problems at my site, I'm annoyed at. Meanwhile, can we do my favorite animal next? Snakes, I see. I'll consider snakes, although tomorrow is Fan Art Friday. But we do have a fair deal of anomalous snakes. So, would not be a hard subject to do. But before that, you should do a JamCon stream. That's right, there is a contest on the database. Isn't it called This Is My JamCon? I better check that out as well. At least pull it up on the database for further investigation. A music theme writing event. So song submissions are closed, song distribution finished. Writing starts now. Voting period April 24th through 30th. So yes, the contest ends tomorrow. So we will see what the votes are as of tomorrow. Oh my sheesh. Looking at the preeminent starting here, it turns out that once again, Jay Dune is sweeping the contest. Good work, Jay Dune. Yowza. Right now, second place, SCP-8751, has a plus 68 rating. Meanwhile, Jay Dune's number one entry has SCP-9757 has 174 rating upvote. So Jay Dune has almost 3 times as much upvotes as the second place person. That's pretty extreme. Pretty extreme. Also, I was jump scared, and so you're all going to suffer with me. I have not looked at any of the articles for This Is My Jam Con, but when I clicked SCP-9757 to confirm whether it had that many upvotes or whether that was a number about its discussion or something, I was greeted by this. Why? Why? Unhappy, unhappy, really, 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 really unhappy. That's me right now. So we will look into This Is My Jam Con at a later date. I am interested. But you're saying 9141 is our problem, and there is an umbrella term referring to all minor curses placed onto the Foundation. There are currently 37 active curses and 8,957 in the history of the written record, with a very strong rating system color-coded of the different kinds of curses. I do not like this. All right, well, it doesn't shock me that we've been cursed in multiple manners. That is actually the least surprising thing that I've heard. Based on how we contain the anomalous, I'm sure anybody who is anybody that we've stopped would put a curse upon us at some point. Very important, good to know that someone is out there documenting them, though. Skywarp, thank you for your 1 month as an overseer here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service, especially your leadership to help us win the battle against the White Names. 1 month already. Time goes fast. Have fun with the hidden xenomorph eggs around the site. Evil laugh. We already completed your little devilish Easter egg hunt. Trust me, after dealing with the 3199s, we are very used to horrifying eggs. And, coincidentally, xenomorph eggs are actually a lot easier to destroy than 3199 eggs. So, no problems on that front either. Good for us. Side quest. Don't eat the omelets in the commissary right now. People are not having a good reaction. Anyways. Blue Phantom, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself not an omelet on your way past the commissary. Nines stole someone's truck again, and someone gave it soda again. Also, how was your day and desk's day? Well, worse. All right. Blue Phantom, I'm putting you on the duty of disciplining Nines until it stops stealing trucks. From now on, if it steals a truck, it's your responsibility. You will be the one who gets in trouble if it gets past you. Intern Frost, thank you for donating again to say. Popped into the digital circus, showed stream to the gang, and Kane says hello. Also, he likes your hair. Yes, I'm glad to hear that Kane likes my hair, I guess. I don't trust reality-bending artificial intelligences. Intern Tough, thank you for sending 4 100s to the Containment Hazard Assessment Team. I am sure they will keep it 100 at your urging. can we do axolotl? Well, I do know there are some SCP axolotls. Off the top of my head, the one that I would recall. Make sure this is the one I think it is. As soon as the database catches up with me. While my database takes forever to load, the baby is here again. It looks like the baby is soon to be going on a walkie. Very good for her. Lots of energy. All right, get real tall. Get real tall. Good job, baby girl. Very talented child. Okay. Now, the photo file on this document is broken. But I can guarantee to you that it used to be an axolotl. SCP-8401, which functions under the code name 8401 is... Does it hurt when I do this is the code name. SCP-8401 is an axolotl of average size and weight, capable of speech and believed to be sapient, though it has not responded clearly to any lines of questioning or attempted conversation. It is also capable of long-range teleportation, which is why this axolotl is Keter class. Very hard. It is not contained because it is a... well, it's contained for a little bit. We have it microchipped, but then it teleports again and we have to go cut it down. So, this axolotl teleports to people who are dying, and it, well, doesn't really comfort them in their dying moments. Just, here, let me read this log of an interaction between SCP-8401 and a dying agent. Agent Mayweather crawls over to a nearby wall and leans himself against it. He pants heavily, holding a hand against his stomach. He pulls his hand away, revealing a large gash in his torso. Shit. It's really over, huh? Guess I should have seen this coming. I just, wish I wasn't gonna die alone. 8401 manifests mid-air and lands on his lap with a soft thud. Agent Mayweather jolts. Hiya! What the hell? Golly, mister, you don't look so good. What? Looks like you got a nasty owie there. Golly gee, that must hurt a bunch. Yeah, it... Mayweather sputters, coughing a small amount of blood that splashes on 8401's face. Yay! Confetti! Terrified. Mayweather shudders. Tell me, does it hurt an axolotl or an axolotl? Mayweather falls over, unresponsive. Mister? End of log. So yes, while I don't know that we'll do a whole stream of axolotls, I at least gave you one here. Adorable mutant bat, thank you for donating again to say. How many people here are anomalous? Yes, secretly working for the SCP Foundation or spying on them for fun, like myself. Well, the SCP Foundation is not a stranger to anomalous staff members. Furthermore, this is a multiversal broadcast to reminder there is no canon. The SCP multiverse is very vast. Therefore, many anomalous staff members could be present at any given time. Intern Frost, thank you for donating again to say. Got 9s in the truck back, by the way. Kane helped. Isn't Kane, Kaputski's? Isn't that what I heard? I think it's more worrying if the entity is back. Skywarp, thank you for donating again to say. Welp, I can confirm there is a hive in the vents. Well, clean it up, why don't you? Contain the threat. Who hires a dog to do science? Well, intern Purif, Dr. Kane Pathos Crow, would take umbrage at your accusation that a dog can't do science, being a dog researcher himself. Hey, SCP-035 cannot be that bad. Intern Perot, SCP-035 is that bad. It is a violent, manipulative, mass-murdering lunatic. Don't believe its honeyed words, for that honey contains deadly poison. Ain't no rule that says a dog can't do science. You're damn right, Intern Nulono. You're damn right. We hired Crow when he was a human. Is that so? I haven't looked into Dr. Crow's personnel file. Regardless, he is a dog now. I believe it was that Soul Snatcher SCP we talked about a few days ago that did it. Oh, interesting. I did not realize that Dr. Crow was a victim of the Soul Snatcher. Soul Extractor, SCP-158. Experiment Log AA. Not listed in the first testing log. What about the second testing log? Experiment log of Professor Kane Pathos Crow, I see. Experiment log of Kane Pathos Crow regarding SCP-158 in use for the Olympia Project. Gathered up D-Class, withdrew a soul. Removing and reimplanting the same soul into the same test subject. Well, whatever this log is, it's not saying that this is the creation of Crow, just that Crow was doing research with it. But that doesn't mean that's not the case. Intern Frost, thank you for donating again to say. I have backup files of Kane on a drive. Also, hi, anomalous. Need I say more? Adorable mutant bat. I sent you an apple. I have the same abilities as Kane. Maybe I do need to give Clef a call for all this reality bending that's going on. At least for an observation. So I shouldn't believe 035 because maybe I took him out of his containment cell. It's an it. It's literally a mask. It's not a person. Please practice proper pronoun parlance protocols of the Foundation. And gave it a host. Yes, we are now demoting you to D class. You are fired. I hope you enjoy the experiment because you done fucked up royally. So, yes, turn in your badge and get your jumpsuit. SCP-291 is a possibility according to the discussion. I assume you're talking about how Kane became a dog? The disassembler reassembler, I see. I wonder. Interviewing icons, Kane Pathos Crow. Dr. Kane Pathos Crow as a character is known to be a very good boy. In all seriousness, your character is a dog researcher. Why did you decide to make your author character into a dog? Was that always your intention for the character? Is it ever strange for you to realize that your character is still used in stories even to this day? And the answer. Originally, author inserts weren't a thing. We just had author pages, ones that were on the goofy side because they were disconnected from articles as a whole. It wasn't until Fishmonger, a writer who had written some very popular tales, but later left the site with his works in disgrace, included a number of popular authors and active members in the community in one of his stories, that author inserts really started to take off. It was like everyone simultaneously agreed that they were cool and okay to use. The name Kane Pathos Crow was a portmanteau of several characters I had written that I was fond of. The title Professor was added because it seemed like that we were all researchers. The fact that he was a dog was because the picture seemed neat, and I love dogs. Though later I discovered that everyone in my life unironically equates me with a Labrador, which when they pointed out several of my behaviors made a lot of sense. But yeah, originally there wasn't an intent with the character. It was a throwaway joke on a page to collect my stories for the ease of perusal, with a picture I thought was mildly funny. Everyone else ran with it. And then someone on the subreddit is also claiming that they heard it was the Soul Extractor 158, but unable to confirm it. Well, that doesn't give us a lot of answers, unfortunately, but it doesn't seem like we're going to get many since it was just a joke in the first place. Intern Marla, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. As a time check, people, we are currently at the 1 hour mark of this 90-minute stream. You have approximately 30 minutes left to ask your questions. Furthermore, reminder for the sponsorship, the site director plushie. We have 13 days remaining. Link in the chat is pinned, or link in the VOD description if you're watching this later. Get it while it exists, because in 13 days, it will no longer exist. Puppet Boy, you are correct. The likes are above the viewers, which means that because you have hit that like button so ardently, the YouTube algorithm with which we ride like a wave will bring us more and more people trapped in the currents and the pull of the SCP community, and they will learn the SCP Foundation's might and overall coolness, and they will then join our cause. And when they do, they will help us to get bigger and better SCP projects made, bigger SCP feature films in theaters, AAA SCP games, awesome audio podcasts, cool merch, And of course, the SCP authors and the SCP artists who make this all for fun would love to get some support and engagement on their stories. Maybe you want to become an SCP author's Patreon patron to support them. More power to them. Thank you for your service, Site 42 staff, in this matter. That also just reminded me of a random SCP tale that I haven't read in a while. And so you're all going to learn you something right now about one of the most important SCP characters in existence. An SCP researcher and powerful personality, Dr. Coolbad. In Dr. Coolbad's most important work on the SCP database, Dr. Coolbad destroys the economy. It's a quick read. Let me regale you. Dr. Coolbad braced his elbows on his desk. He took a deep breath, closed his eyes, and pushed up his glasses with 2 fingers. Fuck, said Dr. Coolbad. And fuck was right. He was shocked he hadn't considered the possibility before. As far as he was concerned, his plan had gone off without a hitch, if you didn't count this rather large and important one. Can't you just, I don't know, amnesticize them? No, said the other person on the other end of his Bluetooth, and it's pronounced amnesticize. They also said, but Dr. Coolbad was busy considering the former comment. He tugged at his collar, his office growing increasingly warm. This is certainly something. Something indeed, said Dr. Coolbad, stroking his chin in a way that suggested he was both dastardly villainous, but also considered sexy by a specific demographic of people on the internet. Admittedly, he was surprised the Foundation had lasted as long as it did. The premise of the whole thing, while not actually being his idea, was rather overcomplicated, and it wasn't even a good name. But hey, he needed that engineer, and he didn't have a better plan. So monsters, it was. It was after he gathered the lower staff that it stopped being just monsters. Now it had expanded to objects, people, phenomena. Too much for him to keep track of. So he let all the eggheads keep track of it, while he sat in his office being broody and incredibly vague about what he, quote, knew, so that nobody ever asked. Which worked. People listened to him on account of how cool he was. But they also feared him on account of how bad he was. And Dr. Coolbad was a conventionally attractive white man, which meant he could get almost anything he wanted. Anything. Except the entire United States of America, apparently. Was one lousy global superpower too much to ask? He frowned, pushing himself away from his desk in the only updated office chair in the building. The plan had worked. It did exactly what he wanted it to do. The people he exposed to the mysterious effect filled in the blanks on their own, making up their own version of whatever they thought was going on, and not asking annoying questions like, why are we turning this grocery store into a front for a top secret shadow government organization? The UN did get involved eventually, but he sorted that out well soon enough. The UN sucks, he announced to the Foundation. The UN sucks, they agreed. They're blowing up all our monsters and stuff, one of them posited. Yeah, they're blowing up our monsters and stuff, the rest agreed. Sure, said Dr. Coolbad. Fuck the UN, the lot of them concluded. Fuck you, said Dr. Coolbad to the UN. And with nothing else standing in his way, Dr. Clef took over the United States of America. And the United States of America didn't seem to mind, because despite his being very bad, he was also very cool. All of them? He asked the person on the other end of the phone, whose name he had been told but had forgotten immediately. All of them, they answered. What about the groups of interest? We have all of them too. Dr. Coolbad tapped his fingers on his desk. What do we do now? Asked the person whose name he had forgotten. And Dr. Coolbad didn't know. Celebrate, he said hollowly. The mission is over and humanity is safe or whatever. Yes, sir. They didn't hang up. In fact, they kept talking. And his office kept getting warmer. Where do we buy the party supplies? Where do they buy the party supplies? Indeed. The mission had succeeded. Dr. Mad Maxon Coolbad, incredibly designed company logo and its mysterious mind-controlling properties, had successfully conducted a crusade to convert every business in America to a scan, copy, print office supply store. His plan had worked perfectly. And now every store belonged to his corporation, and every human being in the country was among his, quote, personnel. It was an office supply mogul's paradise. Except now that all the stores were office supply stores bearing his own branding, there was nowhere to buy the party supplies, or food, or air conditioners. Fuck, said Dr. Coolbad. And so, yes, Dr. Coolbad took over the SCP Foundation and then the United States of America and turned everything into a scan copy print shop as a cover for the Foundation. And now we don't have groceries. Darkblade and Jack, King of Everything, have a new rival. Dr. Mad Maxing Coolbad. You're damn right, 369 Destroyer. No one's prepared for Dr. Mad Maxing Coolbad because he is so bad and yet also so cool. Very good. All right. Something in the chat reminded me of that, and I wanted to bless you with it. You and I have been blessed by Dr. Coolbad and the knowledge of his incredible coolness, but also the knowledge of his incredible badness. I hope you can carry that weight with you. We'll all carry that weight together. God, he's so cool, and yet also so bad. I didn't sign to be a D-class, please change me back. Well, D-class Perot, you should have thought of that before you released a highly dangerous anomaly and gave it a body to walk around on. If that is the common sense that you are going to have here as a staff member of the Foundation, then you are not going to be a staff member at the Foundation. At least not higher than a D-class. SCP-291 was able to swap the brains of a human and a large dog. Kane replied to this, and Wrights responded with the realization that he'd come out with no fur. They shaved Dr. Crow? Unfortunate. He may be cold. Poor cold pupper. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Dr. Sherman, I think I know why you got targeted by SCP-9141. I recommend reading Addendum XXXX-1, 1B in the Collapsible. In the Collapsible, you say? Do-do-do. Addendum XXX1 dash and then 1B. An important message to the members of the Foundation. Following a recent incident regarding SCP 4 digits redacted, personnel have reported a rising amount of anomalous phenomena and an unnatural number of coincidences, posing large threats to their lives and or work. I have noticed this, yes. This has been expressed to Foundation Command numerous times, and we are currently working on solutions and investigations. It is advised personnel take extra caution when interacting with sentient SCPs, organize and communicate interviews with people of higher position in relevant departments, more specifically the Ethics Committee, and do not take part in any reckless actions. See, Intern Perot? No reckless actions! If you experience a repeated amount of coincidences or anomalous phenomena within your work, please don't hesitate to read out to your site command for an investigation. Curse has been ongoing for 100 years. Well, that's a bit. Yeesh. Intern Frost, thank you for donating him to say. I agree with Adorable Mutant Bat. On what? Also, 683 is very loud right now, or I'm just losing it. Someone check the vents for gas leaks, please. 683 is being loud. Codename Refrigerator Art consists of objects 683-1 and -2. Unique properties are activated. It will produce examples of -3. -1 is a white 1953 Crossley Shelvador brand refrigerator showing moderate external wear. So it's a refrigerator, okay? -2 is a child's drawing on standard paper. Any person either uttering disparaging remarks about the art or attempting to remove it from the fridge begins to incur damage to both internal organs or skin musculature. Ow. Do not talk shit about the child's art, or you will have a bad time. Okay, remember not to talk shit about the refrigerator art, please. Puppet Boy, but is SCP-683 running? SCP-683's -1 component, the refrigerator itself, the power cord terminates in an unknown plug configuration that has proven incompatible with modern outlets. Electrical engineers from the Foundation have constructed an adapter allowing -1 to run via a standard gas-powered home generator, which is used for all testing. When supplied with power, it functions adequately as a refrigeration unit. The anomalous aspect of the art will be active whether the refrigerator is running or not. The food that will appear, the -3 instance, will not decay or spoil as long as they are kept in the unit and the refrigerator is actually running. So the food will dissipate, rot, etc. if the refrigerator is not powered. Good to know. Oh, and if you, not only if you talk shit about the art, will it damage your internal organs and such, but it creates a lunch bag containing a U sandwich inside the refrigerator. It also contains some chocolate chip cookies, apparently. Those don't have U DNA in them. Those are just normal cookies. So yes, really, do not talk shit about the refrigerator art. Intern Frost, thank you for donating again to say. Think the sketches are alive this time. I don't think the 683 sketches have ever been seen to move. Yeah, I do not think that anything like that has ever happened, but we could utilize SCP-423, codename Frederick, to go into the photograph, the picture, so to speak, the drawing, and see what can be learned. That could be an interesting experiment. Well, if it's running, you'd better go catch it. How did I not see that coming? That was the slowest pitch of all time, and I just whiffed it. Yeesh. Intern Can Game, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself some meatloaf on your way past the commissary. Could I ask SCP-294 for a drink to counter SCP-001 when day breaks? The likelihood is that it would give you an out-of-range error. Especially because in our universe, when day breaks hasn't happened yet, so it wouldn't have anything to compare it to. I guess after when day breaks, if you survive the initial wave and you're in the base with 294, it could be a possibility. But that is if a cure is developed, which, you know, somewhere in the world, someone might be in a scientific bunker working on a cure for when day breaks. And if they did successfully make a cure, then that would steal their cure, which would probably hinder their research. Be careful with that. Intern Frost, thank you for donating again to say. Found the problem. SCP-049 left a gas canister in my cell. Hey, Dr. Sherman, you want a gas canister? Could be fun to study. Why would it be fun to study a gas canister? Is it not just a gas canister? Does it have some sort of anomaly? Dr. Sherman, could a truly friendly humanoid reality bender be used to help the Foundation with recontaining SCPs and potentially creating Thaumiel class anomalies? Intern Ryder, not likely. The Foundation is famously paranoid, and reality benders can basically do whatever they want. And so, with that much power, eventually they go dark side. Eventually they become selfish. They start changing things. You don't want to give a reality bender time to fuck you over. Read Dr. Clef's seminar, Reality Benders and You, for more details. Audio version of it on the channel, voiced by our very own Desk. It is pretty hype, actually. Like 98% of reality benders turn evenly, I think. I think you meant evil. I don't think you meant evenly, Dr. Frogman. But yes, this is a problem that we have in general culture. If you look at the American political landscape and the economic landscape, there is legitimately a correlation, and a high correlation to the point where it could be a causation, that the higher amount of net worth you have, the less empathy you reserve. The billionaires don't care who you are, the little guy on the ground, and that's why they step on us. And they don't care if they deny your claim at the hospital and you die, because it's still making their bottom line. So if money is enough power to make people lose empathy, imagine being able to change reality. We're like ants to reality benders. And 99.999% of the time, they're not going to care if they squish a few ants. Intern Frost, thank you for donating again to say, it's glowing blue. Well, dabba dee dabba die. Let's get that thing into a containment cell before it infects anything, if that's possible, and do a little D-class research. No. Someone want to use me as an experiment, please? No, I just want to plug 079 in internet. Intern Perot, I need you to go get that glowing blue gas can. It's a job fit for a D class. Dr. Shetman. That's not my name. Important question. Bagels or donuts? Well, considering my history with donuts, I'm gonna go with the bagels. Dr. Sherman, do you recognize the bodies in the water? Intern Kang, I do not recognize the bodies in the water because my cognitive resistance value is high enough not to. Meanwhile, none of you recognize the bodies in the water either. OMG, I made it. I thought I was going to miss stream today. Well, Intern Sprite, you are currently here at 8.5 minutes remaining, so you just made it. Woo! Right in the nick of time. I don't want to go get the blue thing. I don't know how you call it. Intern Perot, I don't care what you want. You've been demoted to D class for your terrible, terrible breach of logic. And you're going to go get that glowing gas fan and put it in a containment cell. It's not a request, it's an order. I'll have to rewatch the readings in the beginning of stream. I like frogs. They pair well with mushrooms. Oh, Intern Sprite. You don't know how correct you are. At least when you're talking about SCP-306, the fungus that turns people into frogs. But you'll get to check it out earlier in the stream when you watch the VOD. Hey, sir, I don't know what to do. I threw SCP-018 into a giant city. Very cool, Robert. Way to have another terrible idea and get yourself demoted to D class. Now, the gun violence statistics are going to be all off because people are going to be pierced by a bouncing rubber ball and believe that they were shot, and they won't find the bullet, but that won't tell them because a little rubber ball going through you, that looks like a bullet hole. And then the gun violence statistics are way up. So you're screwing everything up for everybody. D class now. Hello, Puppy of Interest 42, codenamed Charlie. It is very good to see you. I hope you enjoyed your walkies. The belly rubs are superb at this time. You are welcome to them. And here is a snack, but it's only for tall girls. Very good, very tall baby. Long baby. Hey, sir, I accidentally looked at a photo of SCP-096. Is that bad? Intern McClure, I want you to head over to medical. They will not be able to help you, but they will measure you for a coffin. Me, am I demoted? Robert, the researcher, it does not look like you did the crime that I said demotion for. So, no? Pay attention. We need a Wizard Frog channel emote. I do believe Junior Researcher Sally might be on that. But remember, people, we need so many freaking members for YouTube to give us the full allotment of allowable emoji spots. They will give you the maximum amount of allowable custom emoji spots only if you have 5,000 members. So, sheesh, they really want you to work for it. So yes, our journey to 5,000 green names continues. Dr. Sherman, why doesn't the Chaos Insurgency just mass leak the existence of the SCP Foundation? I've always wondered that. All of the groups of interest understand that the general public is not ready right now for knowledge of the anomalous to break. Even the Serpent's Hand, who want to free anomalies, who want humanity to evolve beyond humanity in harmony with the anomalous blah blah hippie bullshit. Even they know that a sudden burst of breaking the veil would not go well for anyone. This situation is tackled in the book series The Dresden Files very well. Unrelated to SCP, but it's kind of the same ethos. It's just explained rather clearly. In the Dresden Files, all of the mythos are real. The Fae folk are real, vampires are real, ghouls are real, Santa Claus is real, everything's real. The Greek gods are real, all of it. It's all real. Similar to us. But they all maintain secrecy because even though humans are not superpowered, they do have nukes. They do have a lot of guns. And if you get all of the ants really upset, then you're going to have trouble. And so, like the Dresden Files verse, the SCP verse also understands that letting the bulk of humanity in on the secret would cause a lot of chaos. And so even the ones who want humanity to know about anomalies do so in a slow drip feed fashion so as to not upset the apple cart, so to speak. Intern Frost, thank you for donating again to say. Last donation for the week. Gonna head to bed in the digital circus. Also, I signed Jax up for volunteering as a D class because he's digital, so no deaf. But can they exist in the real world or do they just live in the server? I guess a D class digital edition could be useful for anomalies that affect digital data or digital avatars. We'll have to work out the terms for that. Intern Rose and Intern Camiller, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Hey, you can't force me to get the blue thing. Intern Perot, something worse will happen if you don't, though. It's just consequences. Time check. Intern Robert, we are currently 30 seconds from the end of stream. So, legitimately, last 30-second questions. Here we go. What happens if I stab or touch SCP-066? What happens if you stab or touch SCP-066? I don't remember 066 by number alone. Codename Eric's Toy. I mount amorphous mass of braided yarn and ribbon. When a six strands may be taken individually and manipulated. When this is done, a note on the diatonic scale is produced. When 6 or more notes are produced, it will not respond in manipulation while any effect produced by it is in progress. It might turn into a kitten. It might play a song. It might generate a cupcake. It displays mobility. I mean, it is just yarn, so I don't think stabbing it would be super effective. I mean, you could cut it, I guess. But don't damage the anomalies, please. We can't research them if they're deceased. Meanwhile, I don't see any reason why you can't touch it unless it becomes violent in some way. It doesn't seem to be attacking people. It was cool until we cut off a bit of it and it turned into a monster. It screams so loud it can destroy your eardrums. It hates us now. It's violent. All right, well, Desk has the word on Eric's toy. We pissed it off. See? See why you don't do those things? It's perfectly benign until you messed it up. Intern Frost, thank you for donating again to say, Perot, get the gas can and I protect you forever. Well, I guess if that gets the job done. Will you come to my funeral if I died SCP-096? Well, Intern McClure, you said you saw its face, so it's not if, it's when. And no, I will not be attending your funeral. If I had to go to a funeral for every single D-class intern researcher that dies on site, I would do nothing except go to funerals. We have work to do. Intern Kangame, thank you for donating again to say, I have some private matters with O5 that you may be keen to hear about, and I have approval to tell you. Well, I do like all sorts of intel regarding the inner machinations of the Foundation, so yes, fill me in. Dr. Sherman, does dancing make you good at self-defense because of the kicks? Intern Sprite, I do have strong dance boy legs, as said by Radiger, and dancing does give you excess coordination compared to your average person, which does make you slightly more capable of learning self-defense strategies. But Site-42 staff, we are now at the end of stream, and as I do at the end of every stream, I tell you guys my favorite SCPs. But I'm not going to tell you that my favorite SCPs are the ones I personally wrote. That would be sheer narcissism. But if you want to read the SCPs I personally wrote, you can go to the Sherm's author page in Site-42 Hub on the SCP database. There, you can see the SCPs I personally wrote, as well as contributed voice lines or sound effects to. And while you're on my author page, one tab over, you'll find a list of links. Links that people ask about in the chat. Oh, they want to know where the links are. And then we don't actually go and find them when I tell you where the links are. Incredible. Just not very clever, were they? But thankfully, you, Containment Hazard Assessment Team, you are the clever ones. And you will find and access those links. And when you do, you'll have the opportunity to become a Patreon patron or a YouTube channel member to donate to us monthly. You can do a Ko-Fi or a YouTube Super Chat to donate to us one at a time. Either way, directly donating to Site-42 is very generous. It helps us keep the lights on for myself, Desk, Synth, our editor, Agent Goose, our animal wrangler, and the rest of the Site-42 team. You can also help us out by purchasing the limited edition Site Director Sherman plushie. 13 more days to get this little guy before it is gone forever. I know it scares you, but it's fine. Baby girl, baby sweetie pumpkin. You don't have to worry. The site director plushie will not hurt you. And so thank you for your merchandise and or donations. It truly helps us out to keep the Site 42 streams a-running. As well, if you cannot help us through donations or merch, you can still help us as members of Mobile Task Force Psi 42, coding the Signal Boosters. When you like, share, subscribe, comment, chat, make clips, make edits, and not just for us here at Site 42, but also for the SCP projects we support, the SCP Wiki, and its authors and artists and their stories. If you talk about the SCP filmmakers, animators, game devs, podcasters, merch makers, you are helping us to help them to make bigger and better SCP projects. We got to keep these artists in the community with engagement and funds as we can. And so, Mobile Task Force Psi 42, codename Signal Boosters, I thank you for your service. Now, I saw a Ko-Fi donation come in during the outro. Let me get that so I don't forget it exists. Intern Chaos, thank you for your first donation of today's stream. Thank you for making the effort to go through the Ko-Fi. Grab yourself a tostada on your way past the commissary. Just want to let you know that the coffee delivery is here. Oh, perfect timing for the end of stream. Thank you very much. Sleepless Dragon, thank you for sending a 100 to the Containment Hazard Assessment Team. I'm sure they will keep it 100 at your urging. And now, without further ado, my favorite SCPs in no particular order are, I'm telling them, SCP-3999, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-5031, SCP-5175, SCP-5320, and SCP-8980. Content warning on that last one. It's a pretty rough read. Speed round. 3999-3043-008-J, Spooky-J, 5031, and I can't wait. The last one's a rough read. Site 42 staff. This has been another Coffee Break with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site 42. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you in the next video or stream. Intern Kangame, thank you for your donating again at the very last second of stream. SCP-729. Fuck! We made it all this time. We made the whole stream. And you had to ruin it. Oh. Has Breach, God Save Us All, helped me? Well, that's what we got to look into tomorrow, then. Well, at least I put a little rasp in my voice for this. Jeremiah was a bullfrog, was a good friend of mine. I never understood a single word he said, but I helped him drink his wine. And he always has some mighty fine wine, singing joy to the world. To all the boys and girls now, joy to the fishes in the deep blue sea, joy to you and me. Credit song is Joy to the World by Three Dog Night. Be safe, be well, Site 42 staff, and as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you in the next video or stream.